Hello beautiful creative friends, it's Belinda and I'm back with another project to share for the Confessions of a Paper Addict design team. A couple of months ago I finally had my university graduation and the ceremony took place, I think it was in the first week of September. So of course I went and had a look in the shop and found this graduation cut file, which is absolutely perfect. I have diverted from my usual white cardstock to cut out this, and I have used a black textured cardstock, and you can see that I've already gone ahead and backed that with a really pretty pink and black patterned paper there. The cut file comes in two pieces, so you get the title, then you also get the mortarboard, the hat and the rolled certificate. Again, I have cut that out of some black textured cardstock, and I have gone ahead and backed that with some patterned papers. Now, when I was registering for the graduation ceremony, we were given the option of paying a not insignificant amount of money to have a professional photo taken on stage at the time that you were receiving your certificate. Of course, I paid that. I wanted to have that moment captured. Unfortunately, the photographers were actually located a good 1 meter lower than we were. And if you know anything about photography, you will know that shooting at an upward angle on a person is quite possibly the most unflattering angle that you can possibly get. So consequently, I don't love the photo of myself, but I can't not document it because this is literally the only photograph that I have of me at that graduation ceremony. I do have some photos of me with my husband, my kids and my parents, which I'm going to be doing a companion pocket page for, but this is literally the only documented evidence that I have of being on stage. So I have printed it in color. The kit that I've chosen to use it's a hip kit club from earlier this year that also included a lot of embellishments from the Simple Stories, I think it was Simple Vintage Life in Bloom. So I've chosen that kit because the colors actually work quite well with the colors in the photo. But because I don't love the photo, I have also gone ahead and printed it in black and white. So I'm not quite sure yet whether I'm going to go with the color version or I'm going to go with the black and white version. If I do go with black and white, I'm not too worried about that whole color selection thing because, as I said, I do have some photos here which are going to be on the companion page and they will definitely be in colour. So the colour of the photos will come through on that page just over to the side. I think that's probably about it by way of introduction. So let's hop on fast forward now and see this one come together. Okay, so to get started, I'm just showing you here, I have already prepped my background and I've used the same black floral patterned paper that I used to back a part of the mortarboard cut file. And I have added my white cardstock background onto that. And then I have also added a row of stitching around the edge. Now, I'm just showing you here, I want to use some of this pattern paper to back my photograph, but because I only have one sheet of each of these papers, I want to try and maximize my usage. And I know that I like to add pattern paper borders to my pages. So if it's a pattern that I think could be useful as a border, I will always go and gut out the center of it. I leave about a 1-inch border around the outside, and then I can still use that as a border for an upcoming page. The rest of these pieces here are mostly offcuts from when I was backing the cut file, and I did the same with all of these patterned papers as well. So I've got a nice little stash of borders in with this collection ready to go. I'm going to add a few different layers of patterned paper behind my photo. I'm not distressing the edges, I'm keeping it quite clean. This layout, I will confess, does get away from me a little bit in terms of the amount of embellishments and things that end up on the page, but at least for the photo mats, it is quite simple. So I've just chosen a couple of the pink pattern papers and some of the black and white designs. So it helps to add a little bit of extra visual interest around the photo, but it doesn't become overwhelming and take the attention away from the photo. unlike the embellishments, which you're going to see me add a little bit later on. So just to try and add another layer of texture and a little bit of softness behind the photo, I've reached into my ginormous stash of tissue paper, and I've grabbed out some tissue paper, and I'm just adding a couple of layers of that behind the photo. And then I am going to grab some cardboard. So whenever I receive scrapbooking products in the mail, lots of them come with thick pieces of chipboard to protect the pattern papers from bending. I always keep those. I've got a little pocket full of them just aside my desk. They are the perfect layering element for me. They add just enough dimension. They're nice and sturdy, but they don't add a lot of bulk to my page. Now again, while I'm not adding a lot of bulk with this little piece that's going behind the photo, I go a little bit crazy with the embellishing, which you're going to see me do. So while I'm doing this, I just want to make a little comment. When I listened back to the audio that I had recorded introducing this video, I just want to say that I don't intend to sound self-deprecating when I talk about not liking this photo. I am aware it is a perfectly lovely photo, and it is a very important photo to me personally in documenting this story. I think I was just a little bit disappointed because I have worked really hard this year to lose a fair bit of weight, and with the bulk of the gown plus the shooting up, the photo just wasn't what I hoped it would be. So not self-deprecating, just a little bit disappointed. Now what I'm showing you here, I jumped off camera. I knew that I wanted to add lots of florals because it's a page about me and I love florals, so of course I wanted florals. I didn't want to use, I know this is going to sound really silly and like a total scrapbook hoarder, but I didn't want to use the florals that I have in the embellishment packs that I've purchased from the Simple Stories collection. So I actually went online and I purchased the digitals of those florals. It meant that I could manipulate them to the size that I wanted. It also meant that I could print out more than one of each floral design so that I can mirror the effect from side to side. And the other floral, the black and white floral that you've seen with me showing you just there, that is a PinkFresh Studio stamp and die set that I have. So I do have the stencil that goes along with it, but because I've got a lot of black and white elements behind my photo, I wanted to bring that into the embellishment clusters as well. And I thought just stamping those florals in black and leaving them black and white would be a really nice subtle touch. So here you can see me just starting to place the florals down. What I'm going to do on camera is you're going to see me placing all of the florals roughly into the position where they're going to be, but I will actually adhere all of these down off camera. So where I talked about trying to keep things from being too bulky, that goes completely out the window when I am adhering these florals down, and I just go for layers and layers and layers of dimension. I don't know how many different types of foam squares, foam dots, how much depth I added, but you're going to see me come in now, and I'm going to hold it up. I don't think it's really showing you very well, but you can kind of see there I've got lots of different depths and dimension to those floral layers. I have also adhered down the graduation title. I've adhered the mortarboard up to the top. Earlier on in the video, you did see me trim off the little ribbon pieces that hung down, and that's just because I couldn't really find a good position for that particular part of the cut file with those little ribbon pieces that wasn't going to cover up an important part of the photo, which is my face. So I just trimmed them off, and sitting up the top there, it frames the photo really nicely. To finish off, I've grabbed a couple of the butterflies. Now, I can't remember if I actually grabbed these from the collection or if I printed them and fussy cut them out. I'm not really too sure, but I've got a few butterflies. I also went through all of the embellishments and picked out some of the sentiment strips. Some of them are stickers, some of them are die cuts. And you can see there I've got one that says believe in yourself, another one that says take the photo. The take the photo didn't end up on the page, but I kind of wanted the sentiments that I chose to really reflect some of my feelings about this particular event in my life. So I definitely needed to believe in myself to get to this point. And looking at the photo, well, let's not worry about the fact that it's not a perfect photo, because it is an important photo documenting an important time. Using a little bit of dimension again for these butterflies, I'm just adding some really small foam squares to the wings, and then I'm going to add some liquid adhesive down the body, and then that gives those butterfly wings a nice little bit of movement, which again helps to add some visual interest to the page. So I'm going to adhere this last butterfly down on camera, and then off camera I'm going to finish off with a whole bunch of Nuvo drops, which you're going to see in the close-up photos that are coming now. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love for you to go ahead and leave me a comment or give me a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and join me on my upcoming paper crafting adventures. I will leave it there for now. Say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.